gotta talk about that fallout from that new Master Duel ban list. Now make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more. We're going to start off over here with Droll and Lockbird because this is a very interesting contention point of discussion right now. Because Droll and Lockbird has always been this card that the community has just looked at and said yes or no. It is one of the most split painting issues that this community has had to deal with. And honestly, I'm not surprised to see that the community is so split on Droll. Now, Master Duel's last list took a step further than a lot of us are really used to seeing. They took Droll and they put it to 2, which everybody has kind of looked around now and they went, oh boy, Konami's finally going to start limiting Droll. They're finally going to do it. And I hate to remind you guys of this, but Droll and Lockbird has kind of felt like the TCG's Max C for a very, very long time. And over the course of the years, you've seen the TCG has used Droll and Lockbird as an emergency stop function. You know, we've used this card to literally tell our opponents, no, you may not advance within your turn. And it's been kind of a nice necessary evil to kind of have within the format, but times have, you know, kind of changed. I mean, as every year goes by, there becomes more and more forms of, you know, degeneracy that drops in, but we still kind of call Droll and Lockbird up on the phone. I mean, keep in mind right now, one of the craziest things that Droll has done in terms of progression in the metagame was Droll, if you get Mulch Army, you could just use Droll to tell your opponent you're not going to draw any more cards. Okay, you self-replace with 1 card, maybe 2, depending on how many times you've Mulch Armied me. At that stage, we're now actually getting you to stop netting all of this huge advantage, which just works massively in our favor. Anytime that you can literally force a timer to stop on the opponent is usually an insanely good or, well, an insanely bad thing depending on, you know, the progression of the turn and so forth. 2 makes the card not sacky, because the minute you put Droll to 1, the community tosses their shit and goes, oh my god, you just created a sacky card. And it's like, I guess I just lost to the Droll and Lockbird, you know, I hate this game. And yeah, we've seen that time and time again, you know, and I will continue to see the meta developing towards, you know, potential coin flips and devastation like that. So, I mean, at this stage, I think putting Droll and Lockbird underneath a spotlight is not necessarily a terrible thing. I think looking at why we are limiting this card now, maybe it's a decision for, you know, trying to balance the 1 out of 1 format. Because unfortunately, 1 out of 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a completely different creature than your 2 out of 3. Because Droll, I mean, will pop in out of the side deck a lot of the time. And there are a lot of balancing points to try to fix, you know, certain parts of the format. I get it. I do. But at the same time, there's just a lot of problems. And I'm not exactly happy to see how either of these are going to be addressed. But for now, possibility of Droll being restricted to 2 is now on the table. And whether or not you're happy about that or not is a little bit rough. Let's talk about Appolousa. So, you guys saw that Appolousa finally got taken out back and went night-night, which I think was one of the happiest times that we've had in this game, because Appolousa is one of the most broken cards in the game. 4 monster negates, usually ends up being 3 about 90% of the time, but potentially 4 monster negates is insane, because it's not a once per turn. Now, do I think that Appolousa might actually get an errata? I do. I really do. Appolousa is in a very unique situation for the way that the card has functioned, because Konami milked the crap out of its alt art. They knew that this was, for its time, one of the best Link 4s. And unfortunately, it just got pushed off and rode off into the sunset. And now you're seeing Master Duel have to reissue these alternate art tickets, because if you had an alt art Appolousa, they don't want you to be super sad and upset about that. But this now brings up the question about the state of Appolousa. You know, can we fix Appolousa, or will she remain forever on a ban list? I think we can fix her. Man, those are some words that have led to very, very devastating situations. Truthfully, though, I think Appolousa is something that can be fixed. I think that we can find a way to come to some sort of harmony with the card, and maybe just slap a once per turn on her effect. You know, you can only use this effect of Appolousa to burn some attack points and do something. And I don't think that's the worst thing that you could do. I think, truthfully, that there is a way to balance Appolousa and actually provide her with a footwork to restand on again. And I think, as we speak, Konami's probably actually taking measures or discussing this, because you don't do that much work to a card, printing alt arts, doing all of this craziness just to blow the card up and toss it away in the trash can. Now we can bring it back with an errata and then toss it in the trash can. That's okay. Or we just make it require beast monsters to make it, which that'd be the death of the card, putting such specific restrictions on it. But I really do think right now that an Appolousa errata really has to come down from the top. I cannot imagine that we are going to let this, you know, continue on with its current devastation. And then there's the issue of the Rank 4 Turbo. So it's, Master Duel was the last one to kind of put the nail in the coffin for Ryzel, but it's become apparent at this point in time that we have a Rank 4 Turbo issue. By printing so much generic level 4 support, I feel like we have just created all of these problems for things, and it's not exactly a good thing to be seeing. I know most of us are like, oh boy, you know, more level 4 problems. Yes, but level 4 did in fact need all the love that it could get. It's just you over supplemented the level 4 love, and it kind of has turned into a problem. Not a good problem, but it's a problem that has led to some degrading of certain things within the design space. I mean, I say this because we have this new Satellar Knight stuff coming, and that package just bridges you into more genericness. So at this point in time, it's just like 1/7 Tachyon gets you what, like full combo off of whatever it is, and you can go down like the shark stuff, you can go down the Constellar stuff for a discard. It's kind of crazy to think about, but Master Duel has now aligned things by showing us, hey, you know, we're sick of seeing this level 4 stuff, but yet we continue to see the design space and the exploration of this. It's not really leading to good, promising things. Actually, it's promoting a lot of brokenness. And I don't know. I mean, rank 3s deserve as much love as rank 4 is getting at this stage. But there has to be an over-tuning issue that Konami might have missed in the design space. Where they're just like, oh, generic rank 4 stuff is fine. You know, we already banned Dweller. I mean, who gives a crap if they have access to Axiton? I mean, these cards are good, but they're not at the stage of, I guess, necessarily breaking the game in, you know, the bad direction. But, you know, we continue to see this. I think Master Duel's last ban list was a good one. I think you are going to continue to see, you know, the discussion. But, you know, 5-6 months from now, I mean, you could see an Appolousa errata come down in a valuable book. I wouldn't be surprised to see that based on this. So, a lot of strange things. But please, you know, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back. You learn day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.